So what's going on, Gas Gang? Yes, we are back with another sick video, and today it's in the form of this brand new BMW M4 competition. Guys, this is gonna be sick, so stay tuned and let's get it. So yes guys, as the intro said, a bit of a strange one today. It's just me and a brand new BMW M4. But before we start, I just want to give a massive shout out to Specialist Cars BMW for setting this day up today. Guys, they have gave me a brand new BMW M4 to take out and give my feedback on. And guys, you know me, it's gonna be a sick one. So let's just admire this sick car, guys, because what we got here is a brand new 2021 BMW G82, I think I got that right, it's a G series regardless, but it's a BMW M4 competition. Now guys, this color, I believe, is an individual color. This has got loads and loads of options on this car, guys. The list price on this car, wait for it, is £86,000, which is just crazy. And I know this isn't my usual format, but I thought I'd do it like this today. I thought we'd have a little walk around the car, kind of give you my impressions and just show you some angles of the car and, you know, my feedback on the car. So it's gonna be different, but it's gonna be cool. So first, what I thought we'd start with, the notorious nostrils on this bad boy, the kidney grills, the subject of debate in the community. And guys, I'll be real with you. When you see this car in real life, honestly, it's not even a big thing. Don't get me wrong, they do stand out. They do look a little bit like flared nostrils. I get what people are saying, but they're nowhere near as bad as people make out on the net. Honestly, when you see this car in real life, just the look of it, the whole presence, everything, the curves, the angles, it all works, the grille works. But I'll tell you one thing, if that number plate wasn't there, it might be a different story. As we take a walk around the car, just a quick thing to note about these wheels and the staggered setup with wheel sizes now, which is a little bit strange. But what I do see as an OEM fitment is Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. Just look at this car from the side. I mean, it's a real sleek looking car. Again, one complaint I might have is a bit like the last M4. I feel like the arches aren't very flared. However, on these, and walking around to the back, I honestly think the rear end is the money shot on this because it just looks so aggressive. And I don't think you could actually get this confused with a normal BMW 4 Series. And whilst we're around the back, guys, looking at this carbon diffuser, looks absolutely crazy. And yeah, guys, it's just a nice thing. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you inside the car because yeah, it gets spicy. Guys, this is Yas Marina blue interior. Don't get me wrong, I know this interior is gonna divide opinions, but I think we can't deny that BMW have actually stepped up their game when it comes to, you know, making the car look a little bit more prestige inside, you know. BMW is such a business orientated interior usually, but these have flair, guys. Look at these, obviously being a competition, you know, it's got the holes in them. Look at this, even that, the tag, it's little things, they're so nice. Look at the back of these seats, carbon back seats. I believe this is a £6,000 option. And let me tell you this, they actually feel real nice. Yeah, it's a nice place to be. And a few things I want to highlight. Let's just quickly hit that ignition. Look at this. We got the virtual cockpit. ZF8 speed now, BMW have moved away from the dual clutch transmission, which I don't think is too much of a bad thing. We can talk about that a little bit more on the road. Guys, we've actually got the full spec list here. I'm not gonna bore you going through everything, but as I said in the beginning, guys, the total on this car, I'm not sure if it's focusing in, is £86,590, guys. That is crazy, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of car. You just close the door here. I mean, it is a very high spec car. I'm not gonna go through everything, but it's got all the toys pretty much. I've got to say though, just sitting in this bucket seat, it feels nice, it's grippy. I'm gonna say if you're a little bit portly, a bit porky, lockdown pounds affected you, you're probably not gonna fit in these seats too well. But from my point of view, my perspective, guys, look at the steering wheel. Being out in the M5 comps, this is a very familiar thing. Now we've got the M1 and M2 buttons on the steering wheel, which is a cool feature, right where you want them to be when you need them to be there. And also check the carbon on the steering wheel, the flappy pedals, even carbon. And they've even got this nice little grippy rubber bit on the back that I don't know if you can see, but it looks real cool. But right, guys, what you want to see really is the power plant. So what we're going to do, we're going to hop out. And open the bonnet. So there we have it, guys. Straight six cylinder, 3 litre, twin turbo S55 engine, 510 brake horsepower, 650 Newton meters. This is the power plant. Now, I'm not gonna lie, engine bay, in my opinion, obviously being an owner of an F80 M3, doesn't look as special. I know this engine means business, and what I'm talking about is these, namely. In the F80, what we had is a nice carbon fiber sweeping strut brace, and it just looked real sick. It made the engine bay look real special. I would say this almost does look a little bit M-lighty under here, if that makes sense, M140i-ish, you know what I mean? Not quite an M car, but obviously it is. But guys, not much to say about that. And guys, I ain't even gonna talk too much. I think you guys wanna see this car move and you want my feedback, so we're gonna hit the road and see what this bad boy is saying. So let's do it. Alright guys, so we're out in a new BMW M4, and I'm not gonna lie, first impressions, car's feeling nice. Car's feeling nice. It's a brand new car, isn't it? There's no denying that brand new car feeling. And I gotta say, man, this cabin, I'm not sure how it's looking on camera, but in real life, it's proper. Everything feels right to touch. The steering wheel's nice and chunky. It's got a heated steering wheel too, which is cool. The spec on this car is mad. And these seats, they just grip you so well. But going back to it, if you're a fatso, it's not gonna work. Right now, we're just in drive mode, which is like, you know, it's normal sedate mode, and very drivable. The steering's quite light. Suspension, I'm not sure if it's got adaptive suspension, 86 grand. It's probably got adaptive suspension, but it's soaking up the bumps. The road that we're on isn't, you know, a smooth road by any means, and, you know, it's just floating across. And the revving, you would have heard, no soft limiter. This is a GPF car, obviously being a 2021. No soft limiter, so ratings for that. I'm not sure I'm hearing any burbles. Don't know if that's a big issue. Very, you know, it's got that very unique BMW straight six sound to it, which I'm a fan of. But, you know, I don't know. Burbles, it could have been a little bit more spicy, I think. But regardless, still a nice sound, especially for a GPF car. Another thing that I think BMW have got right with this is the steering weight, because the F-Series BMW M3s and M4s, I found that even in comfort, the steering was so heavy. So even when I had it in its most sportiest setting, I would still adjust my steering so it was in comfort, and then it was heavy. But right now it seems real good. And as I said before, we've got M1 and M2 on the steering wheel. So I'm going to switch it into M2. The rev, see, it gets more keen. The revs come up, it drops down the gear, and you probably hear the exhaust valves open. Now, we got a nice hum. Not sure if I'm hearing stuff through the speaker or not right yet, but also what happens is it weightens up the steering, and it's still not too heavy. It feels just right. I mean, ZF 8-speed gearbox again. People are gonna say, yeah, but it's slower than a DCT. I get that. It's the same gearbox actually as my RS5, so I'm quite used to that. Coming from a DCT M3, so I'm at peace with it. But guys, listen, I know you don't want to hear me waffle too much. When you click on my channel, it's not for the analytics, it's for how the car makes me feel. So what I'm gonna do is drop a cog. We've got the gearbox in the most sportiest setting. Drop a cog to third gear. All right, roll onto it. All the way to 7,000 RPM. There you go, it screams. It does scream. Yeah, it feels nice, it feels nice. It really does hold out the gears. Go again. Instant kick down there too. These gearboxes are not bad. Not bad at all. Guys, like people will slate them because obviously it's not a DCT. But what you will find with these is they're a lot more predictable. Whereas the DCT gearbox I found in its most harsh setting, it was like a kick in the back, especially being rear wheel drive. It would literally, like, that's why people were crashing them. You know what I mean? It would change gear coming off a corner, harshest setting, and it would spin people. Like, you know, these are a lot more predictable and just as quick, in my opinion, as a DCT. Or even if it's not as quick as a dual clutch. The normal person would never be able to tell the difference. Look, normal, yeah? Kick down, and we're gone, look. Instant power from the twin turbos. Guys, this car is quick, very torquey. If I'm right, and I might be wrong, but I've heard these are making peak torque at about 3,000 RPM. So we got a shove in the back straight away. And then we're making peak power at 6,000 RPM. So it's a very linear pull through the rev range, if that makes sense. But it feels quick, and it makes a nice sound. So also now in M2 mode, basically everything is set to its most sporty setting. The traction control has a 10-stage traction control setting because on or off is not good enough for BMW. 0 being all the way off and 10 being all the way on. On this M2 setting, we've got it set to 5, so it gives you a little bit of adjustability, a little bit of slip, but hopefully won't let you die. So what we do right now is drop it into second, come off the corner, it's planted. Yeah. It picks up. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna lie, yeah? 510 brake horsepower. It's fast. It's fast. I'm used to a lot of modified, fast, you know, like tinkered with Frankenstein kind of cars, right? And 500 brake horsepower, depending how light the car is, can feel crazy. Sometimes in a heavy car, it don't feel fast. But I would say in this application, it feels fast. It does feel fast, especially as, you know, always in the back of my head with rear-wheel drive cars, like, you know, you're always giving it too much round the corner and it's stepping out away from dying, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? So it adds an element of danger, you know what I mean? Right guys, so it's that time. Yes, we're gonna run a gassed up 0 to 60 with the VBOX Performance Box Touch on a brand new BMW M4 competition. So this should be interesting. Now, I'm hearing people are getting crazy results from this rear wheel drive car. 3.9, I think, is what BMW were quoting, which seems amazingly fast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve that, and I'll be real with you, I don't even know how to put this in launch control mode. So I'm going to have to play around with it to get it right, or do some investigation before I actually line up to do it. However, what I will say is, obviously this is a ZF 8-speed torque converter gearbox, so it's not real launch control. And this has kind of been my gripe with my RS5. It's called launch control, but it ain't. It's more like brake boosting, if that makes sense. So it's kind of just loading up the torque converter and letting go when it's at the right RPM, as opposed to having a dual clutch setup where obviously, you know, one's engaged and it's ready to go. But that said, my RS5, again, 4-wheel drive, I won't mention RS5s too much, it gets off the line crazy, like, you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what this can do. So guys, I'm not going to waffle too much. If you want to know what we're using in a little bit more detail, please check the links in the description. Best RRP anywhere on the net, guaranteed. An amazing bit of kit. 0 to 60s, quarter miles, custom tests, track tool, all of that. Enough talk. Let's line her up. All right, guys, so I'm a failure. I can't work out how to do launch control properly, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. We'll try to do a little brake boosty thing with jig. Let's see what we get. All right, so first attempt, foot on the brake, build it, and let go. Oh, we're off. We're off. Okay. All right, so maybe that was launch control, guys. That was quick. Guys, that was a 3.69 seconds to 60. 3.69, hang on, BMW quote 3.9. And I don't even think that was launch control. It didn't say launch control active, I just brake boosted it. 3.69. And you know what, I think we'll leave it there because I'll probably do it again and ruin it, like, because I don't think this is launch control. But what a result, 3.69. Now I would put I think the radio's just turned itself on for some reason. I would put the leaderboard up now, but the thing is, because we're not on the same ground as the OG battles where I do the 0 to 60s and it's just me in the car, I can't really use the OG battles leaderboard 0 to 60. And because when I do an on-road 0 to 60 with an owner car feature, he's in the car, I can't put it anywhere because it would just be unfair. So a 3.69 for today. I'm not gonna lie to you, on both of my leaderboards, rear wheel drive, this would actually be #1 position. And it's a stock car, 510 brake. That's quick, and that actually surprised me because God knows how to use launch control on this. Alright guys, so I think what we're going to do is wrap the video up here. I know it's completely different to my usual type, but you know what? When I was offered the chance to go out in a brand new BMW M4, and once again a massive shout out to Specialist Cars BMW and Gov for hooking this up, because it's just a sick car and it's a sick day. You know, I couldn't turn the opportunity down. And again, it's a light-hearted review. I know I'm not the most techie person when it comes to these, but you know what? I'll let you know how a car makes me feel. And right now, I'm saying it's a yes from me. It's definitely an M car. It feels adjustable. It feels special. Would I pay 86 for it? No. Would I pay 50 on a second hand for it? Yes. Has it got a lot of tuning potential? Definitely. Does it feel good? Yes. Does it make me feel good? Yes. So in a nutshell, I guess in a roundabout way, it's a sick car. Obviously, if I own this car, it wouldn't say stock for long. So, you know, the potential would be unleashed. But even as a stock package, 510 brake horsepower, definitely a sick car. And once again, a massive shout out to Specialist Cars. And guys, links to these boys, if you need anything, they're so helpful, will be in the description. So a massive shout out to them. And guys, if you have enjoyed today, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And make sure you catch me on the next one. Peace out.